Greetings, everyone. I am Sartora Schumann-Smith, Project Manager here at the CDC of Tampa, and welcome to the October edition of the CDC Experience. We are so happy that you are tuning in with us. And it seems like it's been a while since we've been here, but I think the storms got everybody off track. But we're back and we have some exciting information to share with you, some very, very personal information to share with you. Today I have a very special guest that I just had the pleasure of meeting. Her name is Melissa Vasquez. So Melissa, welcome to the CDC Experience.
Thank you. Thank you.
As most people know, that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And there's so much information out there, so much print material. You see the commercials, you hear from doctors, you hear from researchers, but I always feel that the best truths come from experience and comes from a story. So today, this is a personal CDC experience. Melissa's not here to represent an organization, a company, but she's here to share her personal journey of breast cancer. So Melissa, thank you so much for being here and for being willing to open up and share your story and your journey with us here today. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about Melissa.
Okay, my name is Melissa Vasquez. Thank you for having me. And I am a retired veteran, Navy veteran, 20 years. I'm a mom of 3.
Okay.
I have 2 new grandbabies.
Congratulations.
2 and 1. And thank you. And 3 boys. And I've been married for 32 years.
Oh, well, congratulations on that. Yay, good for you. Good for you. Well, we're so very happy to have you, Melissa. And like I told, I'm telling everyone, this is a personal journey. This is Melissa's story. Melissa is a 9-year survivor, and we always love to hear survivor. So we're just going to sit back and have a conversation, Melissa, but wanted to let everybody know that you can find our podcast on all social media platforms, as well as our CDC website, which is www.cdcoftampa.org. So make sure you check us out. So Melissa, I'm going to get right into it. And as I said, it's a personal journey, personal story. And I'm not going to say struggle. I'm going to say it was a personal journey.
Yes.
So the first thing that comes to mind for me, what was it like for you when you first heard the diagnosis, and where were you?
So when I first heard the diagnosis, I was at Moffitt Cancer Center is when I heard the diagnosis. But prior to that, my GYN had given me a cancer center card. Mm-hmm. She gave me a card and said, I want you to go and see these folks ASAP, Melissa. And so my husband said, wait, you don't know that it's cancer. Let's just go to the center and let's just follow what they said. And that's what we did. And after the biopsy from Moffitt, they confirmed. By the time I got dressed, the radiologist came in and they told me the C word. So I was at the cancer center when I got it.
So now, had you found a lump on your own, or was there a lump found in a mammogram?
So great question. I found my own lump. So I did find my own through monthly self breast exams. I found my own lump.
Which are very important.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I found my own lump. I asked my spouse if he felt it. He felt it as well. And I made the appointment. I did everything I was supposed to do. I made the appointment with my primary, and my primary sent me to the imaging center, gave me the referral. I went to the imaging center, and from the imaging center, they stated that I needed to not contact them. That they'll let me know.
Okay.
5 business days is what I think I recall them saying, or my primary would let me know the results. That never happened. With that being said, the primary didn't contact me, and the imaging center did not contact me either. And so the cancer spread and just went on months and months. And
Wow.
so with me, I should have not procrastinated. I should have called and asked what were my results, and I did not.
Well, you know what? I can see that it's still emotional for you
Yes.
to have that conversation. And if I can just say that I know we look back on things, what do they say? Hindsight is 2020. I never knew what that meant, but I think I knew the context in which they were using it. But I can still see that, it's something that has stuck with you. And I don't want to add to that. And, to say you should have done this and you should have done that. I think once you heard the results, you were probably still in shock or somewhat denial maybe, or you're still trying to wrap your head around the C word. So I don't want you to beat yourself up and say what you could have done or should have done, but we have to encourage others, men and women. We have to encourage others to be diligent and tenacious about when you get your exams and setting up an annual appointment. For me, going to get a mammogram is like a date. It's something every year I do the same time on my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you said that, because when I'm talking to women and men, I always encourage them, if their birthday is on a certain day, say the 19th, and I say do a self-exam the 19th of every month is what I tell them. And so you won't forget about it.
Yeah, and be comfortable. Learn to start being comfortable with your bodies, ladies and men. So I have another question for you, Melissa. Once you found out and, you knew the steps and the process, so tell me, what were your treatment options? What did you have to go through? Did you have a mastectomy? Did you know what was the surgical procedures and the treatment? If you can tell us about that.
So my treatment was about 18 months. So once I went through the Cancer Center, Moffitt, from there I did 5 months of chemo because I waited, or because my cancer spread throughout my body. So it had metastasized. And so not only was it breast cancer, it was thyroid and bladder cancer as well. So, but the Cancer Center decided to focus on breast cancer first. And so that's what we did. So it was 5 months of chemo, and they gave me a month off and to recuperate, to let my body heal somewhat, if you say. And then from there, I went to surgery and I had a double mastectomy. And from there, they gave me a month. And then I went into another surgery, which was for my thyroid cancer. And they gave me some time, maybe 6 weeks, maybe another month. And then from the thyroid cancer, we went into radiation, which was about 6 weeks.
Okay.
From there, we had some more time and we started our reconstruction of my breast, which included 6 surgeries. So a total of 7 surgeries that I went through, from skin removal from my back, just going weekly to get the balloons inflated, to make my chest able to take the prosthetics.
Okay.
Able to take everything. So
I'm listening to you, and I know everyone else is listening to you, and I hear and I see survivor.
yes.
We say that somebody's a survivor, and we see the pink ribbons, and I hear it and others hear it, but I'm sitting here and I just have to touch you. It's tangible. You're here. And through it all, you started saying things and naming things, and then you kept going. and you're going. So thyroid cancer, bladder cancer, double mastectomy, reconstructive surgery, chemo, that is a lot. And again, can only imagine the emotional toll that that took. And I can only imagine the physical toll that that took on your body. But just for you to be here to tell that story is just so amazing to me, and such a blessing. And for anyone who's listening that may have gone through this or going through this, or I just want you all to see courage, and I want you to see strength. And you are a true example of all that. Some people can't do it. Some people can't make it through that process, or some people just don't have the support. You'll have the support, and you mentioned Moffitt a couple of times, and I have to say thank you to Moffitt. I was a patient there years ago, and Moffitt is one of our community partners. We do a ladies' night event with them every year, so grateful to Moffitt for what they do. But you had to have some other support systems. So how were your family? How was your family? How were your friends? How were they supportive?
So going through my journey, and I don't like when we do this, and maybe it's just our community. I asked my husband not to tell anyone that I had breast cancer, and it just wasn't fair to my family. It was like, keep it in the house. Mm-hmm. Like if I had done something wrong, mm-hmm. and I said, don't tell people that I have breast cancer. Mm-hmm. And I was adamant about it. But I realized that he probably needed an outlet. And so going through treatment, I came back and I doubled back and I said, if you need to talk to someone, go ahead. I don't mind. Okay. So, but laughter, mm-hmm. we went to a lot of comedy shows, but then there was times that, I was in the backyard and just crying. Mm-hmm. At that time, my youngest was 8 years old, okay. and I had 2 teenage boys, and, so I just said, Lord, they're old enough, they've had me, but just let me stick around for the youngest one, because he still needs me. And so that was my prayer, mm-hmm. at the time. And when I say God has different plans for you, because I was at the height of my career, I was on track to be a director at an aerospace plant, okay. Because I'm an engineer. And so I was just, just going through it. And I'm going to be the first this and the first that, mm-hmm. and the first black this, and it derailed my plans. And so I'm here. So I say laughter is the best, and if folks I tell people, if the church folks or your co-workers want to come over and bring the casseroles, let the mm-hmm. people do it, because sometimes they don't know what else to say or do. Mm-hmm. And I also tell people, like, don't come crying. Okay. It's not a death sentence. Absolutely. Please don't do that to the person.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And this is not about me today, but I do want to share. You and I were talking before the podcast began. I experienced it myself. Nothing as intense as what you went through, but that was one of the first things. I only told, I think, maybe 4 people, and because I didn't want to share anything either. It's just something that we don't do sometimes as a culture. Yes. That we don't do, but I just didn't want to hurt people. I felt like if they knew that it was going to hurt them, that they would have felt felt sorry for me. And I didn't want that, and definitely didn't want that. But you are so absolutely true with humor. But that may not work for some people. Correct. But it definitely worked for me. I had to find humor in every little thing. Every trip to the hospital, every visit to the radiologist, every visit to the imaging centers, I had to find humor. And thankfully, I had a support system of people who have humor in their lives. So that helped get me through. But what would be your advice to others when it comes to, and again, we hear people all the time, especially in October, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but what would you tell, or how would you encourage other women and men, and I have to say men because men can also develop breast cancer. What would be, if you were on a commercial right now, what would you say to the people about the importance of getting annual exams, breast exams?
Wow. So if I was on a commercial, right? Okay, so I definitely would tell the folks to do your monthly breast exams. And I also tell the men that as well, if they found a lump, to not just dismiss it and just, to think that it was something in their chest or, in their pecs. If there's some hardening, I tell people, if there's something in that you felt, go get it checked out. And that's what I tell people. So if something's there that shouldn't be there, get it removed. I also say that, and I tell people that get the mammogram because I don't want them to go through 18 months of pain that I went through. And yeah, that would probably be it.
And I see on your shirt you have Sisters Network of Tampa. Tell people a little bit about Sisters Network.
So Sisters Network of Tampa Bay is a support organization for African Americans, but it's for everyone. I joined that. I joined several support groups as I went through my journey. Moffitt has a support group. The VA has a support group that I attended that was for men and women, because I feel like you need to go through it with like-minded folks that you can experience the same, or that's going through that journey that could help you. No one in my family had breast cancer. So for me, I was able to connect with these ladies and gentlemen, and they said, you're going to lose your hair through treatment. You're going to have black palms, don't go get your nails done. So we had to wear masks long before COVID, and it was just so that I didn't get sick. Others didn't make me, because of my system, I could get sick very easily. So I just tell people, if your birthday falls on like the 19th, like we talked about, just do self-exams every month on that day so you won't forget. You can do them laying down. You can do them in the shower. Just do the 3 fingers. And that's what we do, 3 fingers around the breast. Don't forget under the armpits as well.
Exactly, absolutely. And one thing I would like to tell people, when you find something, or if you find something, if it's not normal to you, it's not normal. Somebody may say, well, that's normal. Well, it's not normal to you. So make sure you get checked out. I have so many other questions that I wish I could ask Melissa, but we are running out of time. But please, you can always catch the CDC Experience on all social media platforms, as well as our website at www.cdcoftampa.org. And Melissa Vasquez, thank you so much for being here and for being a true example of what survivorship really means. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, stop the silence. So I appreciate you having me here on your podcast. And my other thing is Sisters Network here is locally, and they do free mammograms along with Moffitt. So if you're uninsured, let those folks pay for your mammogram for you. So just contact them. They have a website, www.sistersnetworktampa.org.
Thank you so much, Melissa Vasquez.